I feel that being a sore loser as a kid can set a child up for disaster as an adult. And what I mean by that is there's like two options. Like when you have sports, or just a kid that, like, when he doesn't get his way or her way, they cry or throw a tantrum or just don't see the point of losing. Like there was no reason why they lost in a sport, or they couldn't get the toy or whatever. And as the kid gets older and they can't handle losing or not getting their way, or taking direction, or being controlled, or whatever, I feel that's a major problem in America, especially when it comes to the homeless problem. There's a lot of people that are homeless and on drugs and alcoholics and all that stuff that are very dysfunctional and not housed or have jobs or anything like that because they just can't handle losing, or they can't be told what to do, or they can't be controlled, or they can't be employable. So a lot of the homeless problem isn't just, oh, they're just homeless, those poor things. No, it's they can't be controlled. They have no control. And like I said, you throw drugs and alcohol on top of it, it becomes a really big problem. A really big, especially hard drugs, or somebody that's a really bad alcoholic, it becomes a really big problem. Um, and then somebody's got to take care of them. You know, we don't live in Nazi Germany, so you can't throw them in a concentration camp and just, somebody's got to take care of them. So they just end up on the system and eventually in public housing and disability or SSI or welfare, or, friends and family have to take care of them if they come from a wealthy, community. And it doesn't end well. And I know that because that's my life. And for a long time, I wasn't controllable because when I was a kid, I was a very sore loser and I didn't like to lose. And then when I went into the arts and I didn't see eye to eye with a wrestling promoter or producer, or, somebody that I was working for in a studio or something like that, I would blow up and ultimately get fired. And end up homeless. That happened a couple times. Or, sleeping on my parents' couch or sleeping on a friend's couch. And, I guess at 20 years old, that's okay, I guess. But, at 40, it's pathetic. And that's what happened. I went on the system and, became uncontrollable and became unemployable and, didn't like to lose, and now I'm being taken care of. And I know, I have a cousin. She wasn't in the arts or anything, but, she had mental health issues and, didn't like to be controlled. And, because she learned it from her mother, and, her mother was divorced and on drugs and, just very dysfunctional person, and she learned it from that and didn't learn a work ethic, didn't learn to take direction, didn't learn to be told no and how to handle that and how to lose and how to, and, her father was a rich white guy, and, embarrass the rich white guy. You just don't. And she embarrassed the rich white guy and got on hard drugs and hard alcohol and wasn't taking care of herself. And, next thing you know, she's dead in a cheap motel on the bad side of town. So who's responsible for that? She just couldn't take direction. She wasn't on disability. She wasn't, she was on SSI, welfare, popped out kids and, more welfare, and, had her kids taken away, and just a bad situation. She just got taken up by her own behavior, and she just banked on her father taking care of her, or some man taking care of her, because she couldn't follow direction. She was unemployable. She couldn't take care of herself. And, there you go. She ended up dead. You have to teach your kids how to take direction. You have to teach your kids how to lose appropriately, and you have to teach your kids how to be controlled, or it doesn't end well.